Welcome to Cooking with Scotch. Today's Scotch is the Glenlivet, 12 years aged, and it is smooth and silky. Today we're going to learn how to make enhanced chicken noodle soup. It is one of the easiest recipes that any bachelor or bachelorette can make, or even a couple, one of whom does not cook very well, or at all. So, what we're going to do is start it with base ingredients, move up the line, and make something that's mediocre into something that is fantastico. You're going to start with chicken noodle soup, of course. Just a condensed can. This is a bargain brand. It doesn't really matter which one you get. Save yourself a couple cents. Over here we do have a fresh onion. That is actually the only thing you're going to be chopping. We're going to have our basil and rosemary to bring out the flavor of the chicken. Your cumin and curry just to bring out some extra spicy flavors. I love putting in garlic in soup. It's actually very healthy for you. So we're going to put that in as well. We're going to add extra chicken because they never have enough chicken in the chicken noodle soup in cans. So we're going to add some chicken to that. And finally, we're going to add fine egg noodles as well, which will give it an extra bit of flavor and more noodles, because it wouldn't be chicken noodle soup without noodles. Now, in terms of preparation, life is very simple. First, the fun part is we get to play with this knife. Very heavy knife. It's actually a chef's grade knife. So if you're a chef, you can use that. And of course, the now empty pan. And the first step that we're going to do is we're actually going to turn on the stove. You can figure that out by yourself, I hope. And we're turning that on to just a medium. We're going to pour a little olive oil in there. Very simple again. By the way, yes, I'm doing this all one-handed. And the next step, which I cannot do one-handed, is to chop up that onion and drop it right in that pan. You can actually start pre-warming the pan first, and then drop your onion in. Now that I've cut the onion in half, taken off the skin, cut off the ends, I'm going to show you how to cut it. As thin as possible. You want to go chop, 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 and then the other way, chop, 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 chop. You want to make small little pieces of onions. Okay, through the magic of TV, or in our case, in the magic of YouTube, we've cut up our onions. We make sure that all the oil touches the bottom of the pan. Hopefully the camera is that good, and it is a very good camera. And we're going to go ahead and proceed to drop the onions in there. You can normally just scrape them off your cutting edge, and you can hear that sizzle. That means your pan is warm enough. Now on the medium heat that I have it on, I'm going to just warm these up. I'm not going to fry them. It's not going to be fried onions. You shouldn't have any black parts in it. You shouldn't have smoke coming out. You should just very lightly brown them. And even just a step below that would be perfect. So again, you want to stir every now and then. And just the mission here is to let the onion juice, for lack of a better term, come out of the onion. Meanwhile, you can do a little bit of prep. Open up your can, as you can see. And you have here the actual chicken that you're going to put in there. And what you want to do is just like this. Mush it up. It's that simple. By the way, look at the prep space that I have. I have a total of about 1.5 feet of prep space. So when you see all those big shows on TV, you don't need that much prep space. It's helpful to have it, but you definitely do not absolutely positively need a huge kitchen. Although it does look nice. Alright, enough time has passed, and we can see that the onions are just getting a little bit on the yellow side, which is good. And it's the first thing that we're cooking, and it's going to cook all throughout. It's going to get a little softer. Oh, would you look at that Scotch. We don't actually use the Scotch in the soup, by the way. We drink it. That's what the show is all about, drinking with Scotch, and then of course the title is called Cooking with Scotch. I mashed up the chicken here, and I'm ready to pour this on in. So let's go ahead, and you can witness that. And we'll drop this in as well. There's a little bit more that I'll get out with a spoon. And then you'll take this can and you'll fill it up to the very brim. You actually might want to put in a little bit more water than that, only because we're adding other ingredients. If it was just a soup by itself, poor lonely soup, you'd obviously want to put in as much as one can, usually less. Now that I put the water in there, the extra water, the chicken itself, the onion is in there already. We're going to go back to our spices and put those in next. The best time to do it is right now because the water is not boiling yet. So you can dump that in there without any weird things happening. Okay, and here we go. We got all the spices ready. The basil, the rosemary, the cumin, the curry. That might be a little spicy for some people, but not for me. And with our basil, you can just, here we go, good shot. Put a dash in there. Rosemary the same way. Cumin you might want to put a little bit lighter on. And this type of curry, which you may not be able to see very well, it's blurring, but it's a mild curry, so you can put in a little bit more. And then our favorite ingredient is garlic. And we're going to put in that much. This can actually make about 3 bowls, or 1.5 big bowls. Or if you're just eating by yourself, it's a good meal. The next thing we're going to do is add the egg noodles. Alright, we're back with the egg noodles. Notice that nothing's boiling yet. You don't always have to have boiling water when you put in the pasta. It'll cook up. The magical ingredient here is just a little bit of time. And not making the stove messy, which I've already done. Yes, these are Manischewitz brand. For the people in the tribe, you could actually make this entire meal kosher if you so desired. And for anybody else, you can just get whatever you want. Makes life sort of simple there. Let's put a bunch of more noodles in here. Although honestly, I'm not sure if the Scotch is kosher or not. And what I'm going to do right now, you can hear the cat in the background, is just make sure the noodles are below the waterline. The total prep time so far has been about 10 minutes, and that's with editing, by the way. Or actually turning the camera on and off so I can get everything in the shot. Could take you about 5 minutes to 10 minutes to put everything in there. Then you want to keep it on the medium, right up there, and you want to keep it going for as long as you want. So if I was just to cook this straight out on a warmer temperature, you're looking maybe 10 more minutes. I like to simmer things, and therefore I'm going to wait maybe 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. The trick to simmering is you're going to put it on a lower temperature right there, and just let the heat do the work for you. You can go, you can have your glass of Scotch, you can watch your TV, you can make your phone call, whatever you need to do. So I'll be back when this is fully cooked. Alright, back to the magic of the soup. It's pretty much done now. You can see it's boiling. I've had it on low for about 15 to 20 minutes or so while I went and did other things. Everything stayed the same. I did not add anything else to the soup except for about this much, which is a spoonful of olive oil. That's all you got to do. And let it cool for a few minutes. Serve it. If you're eating with somebody else, then you'll probably get 2 servings, 2.5 servings, maybe 3 even. And if you're eating it by yourself, enjoy. If you're eating it with somebody else, just make something else on top of that, which we'll go through in a new episode coming up soon. And if you want to learn how to make chicken soup from scratch, it is not hard at all. It's not as easy as this, but it is very, very simple. It doesn't take that much longer, and it'll taste that much better. Alright, we're done with cooking for Scotch for now. Thank you very much for watching me, and like me, and recommend me to all of your friends, neighbors, and even your enemies. Thanks, and have a nice day.